You ever feel that sting of winter when the cold cuts through even the thickest jacket? Now just picture living where the sun disappears for months, snow piles taller than your roof, and winds howl like wolves across frozen seas. That was the Viking world. And honestly, they didn't just survive it, they mastered it. This isn't your average history lesson. This is a deep dive into ancient Nordic survival genius, the kind that could keep you alive if the grid ever goes dark. If you're into smart, raw, field-tested survival tactics, hit that subscribe button, because this is the kind of knowledge that turns average preppers into legends. Let's get real. The Viking homeland wasn't just cold. We're talking Scandinavian winters that could hit -30 degrees, where daylight sometimes lasted only a few hours. No modern insulation, no heated floors, no down jackets, just frozen fjords, biting winds, and months of darkness. And yet the Vikings thrived. They sailed, farmed, and fought through those conditions. Forget the Hollywood myth of fur-wrapped barbarians huddled around campfires. That wouldn't have cut it. Survival took engineering, adaptation, and honestly, an almost scientific understanding of heat. Every decision, from how they built their homes to how they ate and dressed, was part of a finely tuned system designed to trap warmth and conserve energy. Enter the Viking longhouse, a marvel of early eco-engineering. Long, low, and half sunk into the earth, these homes were basically nature's answer to central heating. By digging into the ground, Vikings used the earth's natural insulation to block the wind and keep interior temperatures stable. The walls, built from layers of timber, turf, and mud, a natural thermal sandwich that could trap heat better than many modern cabins. At the heart of it all was the central hearth, a stone-lined fire pit that did far more than cook food. It heated the air, dried clothes, and even warmed the sleeping platforms built along the sides. Above it, small smoke holes vented fumes, but not all of the smoke. Vikings understood something our ancestors worldwide also knew. Letting a little smoke linger helped disinfect the home and preserve wooden beams. Their ventilation system was pure genius. Open just enough to prevent suffocation, but not enough to lose precious warmth. It was the perfect balance. A primitive yet precise heat management system designed for survival. Fire was just one part of their strategy. The Vikings understood passive heating, something most modern people overlook. One of their biggest secrets? Body heat. Whole families, sometimes with their animals, slept in close quarters, sharing warmth through sheer proximity. Their beds were often raised platforms packed with straw, wool, or fur, materials that trap heat and block cold air rising from the floor. Their clothing was another layer of brilliance. Vikings layered tightly woven wool and linen, creating natural insulation that stayed warm even when damp. Wool fibers trap air, creating a microclimate around the skin, something every survivalist should remember when choosing gear. Their daily lives were movement-based. Chopping wood, hauling water, crafting, cooking. They didn't just generate heat, they maintained it through constant purposeful motion. For them, warmth wasn't a luxury, it was a full-time mission. When it came to fuel, the Vikings didn't waste a thing. Wood was precious, so they used peat, decomposed plant material cut from bogs, which burned slow and steady, perfect for long, cold nights. Peat fires produce less flame but more radiant heat, ideal for heating enclosed spaces without wasting resources. Animal fat was another multi-tool of warmth. Vikings rendered fat into tallow, which they used for lamps, waterproofing, and even skin protection against frostbite. It was also a calorie-dense energy source, something every modern prepper knows is vital when temperatures drop and the body burns through fuel fast. And then there was fermentation. Viking ale and mead weren't just for celebrations. Fermented foods generated internal warmth by stimulating metabolism, helping their bodies adapt to cold environments. It wasn't about getting tipsy. It was survival science wrapped in tradition. So, what does this mean for us today? The modern prepper, the off-grid dreamer, or anyone who knows that comfort can disappear in a single power outage. It means the Vikings had the blueprint all along. They built heat-smart homes before the term passive solar even existed. They used natural materials for insulation long before modern synthetics. They relied on communal living, fat-based fuels, and constant motion to generate and retain heat. These principles are timeless. If you're building an off-grid cabin, think earth sheltering and low-profile design. If you're stocking supplies, don't forget animal fats, wool, and simple tools to manage airflow. And remember, sometimes the smartest survival tech is ancient. The Vikings didn't fear winter. They harnessed it. Their secret wasn't just fire, it was understanding how every element of life, from architecture to diet, worked together to create sustainable warmth. So the next time the temperature drops and the grid flickers, think like a Viking. Build smarter, live tougher, and stay warm the way they did, with strategy, grit, and a touch of ancient genius. If you found this deep dive useful, share it with someone who'd appreciate a little Viking-level survival wisdom. And don't forget to subscribe to Prepper's Survival Blueprint. Because the old ways aren't gone. They're waiting for those wise enough to rediscover them.